Fourth quarter is almost here. In this video, we're going to show you what you should be doing in September to prepare for that, why it's so important, and how it can save you a lot of money. I'm Brad from KickstartPPC, and let's get into the video. Now, when it comes to fourth quarter, the main things you're going to be looking at are ranking, PPC, as well as listing optimizations and inventory. So let's start on the PPC side. Now, as a brand owner, it's going to be really important for you to actually do a keyword refresh, particularly if a lot of your keywords are focused on the summer. For example, we've got a brand up here where we did a lot of summer keywords for them, and they did pretty well in terms of your sales and ACOS. Top of search was also pretty good, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do very well in September, October. So what you need to do is actually switch the date ranges, look at the last couple of weeks. Just because something worked in July, August, doesn't mean it's going to work so well now. So what you need to do is actually start eliminating some of the keywords that aren't working so well now and shifting the budget to things that do work. So you should have, by default, especially if you are running a lot of summer keywords, a lot less targets focused on summer. There will be some that you want to continue to rank for, which perhaps you want to continue to spend on, but doesn't mean you need to go for all those long tail keywords that potentially aren't going to be getting much search volume. Now, if you want to get a good idea on things, what you need to do is actually look at things on a week by week basis. So look at the previous week or the last 2 weeks to give you an idea. And if you see things are stopping to perform, you need to get on that very quickly and you need to make the changes. So as you can see here, this is doing a lot worse than it did in July. So this is the keyword that potentially you want to scale things back. Maybe don't run top of search so high. Maybe scale back the bids, because at that level, cost per click doesn't really make sense. And if you're not getting high organic sales, you shouldn't be continuing on a product with such a high ACOS. Now, what you can do is really hone in on what your keywords are that potentially worked over the summer and see, can you actually make this tailored for the autumn and the winter? So that means going on Celium 10, Cerebro, finding what keywords are better suited for that time of the year, looking at the search volume trends and seeing, is there anything I can shift the PPC to? And if there is, great. Potentially you've got a product that works year round and you can do that for. But obviously if it's a seasonal product, you're going to be a bit more limited on what you can actually target it for. Don't forget, you can change the listings to be more suited for the time of the year that you're doing. For example, if you sell motorbike gloves and you want to make those a bit more suited for the winter, you could say warm motorbike gloves and make it more seasonal there. Because that's what people are going to be looking for who are out riding motorbikes, because obviously the cold is going to affect people's hands. So with that, think what you can do with the copy on the listing, see what you can do with the actual PPC as well, make it a bit more suited, make the listing a bit more tailored for the winter months and the autumn, and your conversion rate should get a lot better from that. Now, a good example of this is actually this gift basket that I found. And as you can see, it's tailored at the moment towards birthdays and corporate gifts. But obviously you can make a few changes and you can make this really stand out for Christmas, the autumn. So maybe you add Christmas gift in there, maybe you add Hanukkah, Halloween, whatever it is, you want to add that in the title, change things as you go along. And obviously you could put a ribbon in there, turn that into a red ribbon just to be a bit more tailored to Christmas. And some of the things you could do is actually put a Christmas tree in the background, make people know this is a Christmas gift. And this also means going into the bullet points and making some changes here that really highlight that. So listing needs to be updated, PPC also needs to be updated, and then that should help with your conversion rate. Now, when it comes to PPC, the important thing to note is once Prime Day October comes in, cost per clicks are going to start going up. We see this every year. It always happens in October. So the best thing you can do is really start planning ahead of time. And once you have these changes made where things are a little bit more optimized, you should start to try and scale your PPC in the month of September. And the reason is it's going to be a lot cheaper to do it now than waiting till November or October. What this means is finding the keywords that you really want to rank for and going for them early. So this could be a gift keyword for your product. And even though potentially you're not in season, ranking for that gift keyword is going to be a lot more important now and a lot cheaper than it is in October, November. You certainly should be looking at it now rather than kicking the can down the road when cost per clicks are a lot more expensive. Now, the important thing to note is when it comes to September, you might not have all of your graphics ready. The main thing is that you're starting the process, getting some images ready for October, November, because to actually maintain a good ACOS during those months, you do need to boost your conversion rate, especially when it comes to those high cost per clicks. But don't let that stop you from testing and running things in September. You're obviously not going to have the perfect images, potentially not going to be all seasonal related, but doesn't mean you can't work on those organic rankings and try and get things at the right place. Now, most importantly, inventory is the thing you need to be on top of. When it comes to inventory this year, you are going to have two main dates. So you need to have your inventory in stock by the 13th of September for the Prime Day October date, and you need it by 19th of October for the Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Now, this year, we've been noticing that inventory has been taking a lot longer to be received, particularly when it's on pallets. So sometimes we're seeing it being left on the loading dock for 4 weeks. So we're expecting that during Q4, that's going to be a lot more. So here's some of the things you can do. Obviously, if you have it on pallets and it's en route, obviously send it as you are. Chances are, if it's en route, hopefully you'll make it before the end of the month. What we're expecting is from October, we're probably going to see around 6 to 8 weeks for pallets. That's typically what we've seen in other years. But we've also seen when it comes to UPS, it can sometimes be delayed as well. So once you get past September, it's potentially worth using UPS because that will be a lot faster than using pallets. Obviously, in the new year, that will be a different story. But just to get you through this period of time, if you want something that's going to be received a bit faster, I would do it with UPS. Now, of course, when it comes to actual inventory fees, you have to keep in mind that they are going to be going up during the fourth quarter. So at this point, if you do have stock that's not in season, potentially you want to look at removing this. It's better to do it now before things get all gridlocked at the fulfillment centers. So if you have a 3PL or you've got a warehouse you can ship it to, I would do that now, get that process done. By doing this process now, it's going to save you a lot of money in monthly storage fees. As you know, they do get quite expensive if you do have a lot of stock in there. So it's better to clear out any of that stock and get it into a warehouse that's not going to charge you extortionate rates. Even with everything going on, it's important to maintain your stock levels. You want to stay between 60 and 90 days. If you go below 60 days, you're potentially putting yourself at risk, particularly when it comes to the times that it takes to receive inventory these days. So make sure you keep that stock level up and make sure you keep in mind these particular dates when it comes to your Amazon inventory. We hope you found that helpful and hopefully give you some insights on how to properly prepare for fourth quarter. Need help with your Amazon PPC? You're trying to get everything ready, but you just don't know where to begin. You just don't have the time to manage it yourself. Contact us below, KickstartPPC.com. Schedule an audit with us and see how we can help you out. We still have time before the end of the month, so there still is an opportunity, if you have problems with your Amazon account, for us to rank certain products and also clear up all the ad spend before October comes around. It's something you don't want to kick the can down the road on, particularly when it comes to these high cost per clicks that are up and coming. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Stay up to date with everything Amazon PPC and FBA, and we'll see you next video. Bye.